Are you for the real return of the real children of Israel?
We believe that all Israel needs to be returned to the Palestinians.
Do you know that the black man in America is Israel? That he's Jews? Do you know that?
We Jews are not a race. We are a people. Am Yisrael. We are a civilization. There are Jews of every color of the gorgeous mosaic of humanity. In fact, most Jews of the world are not of European descent.
Of the 12 tribes of Israel, how many are black? 8. 8 of the 12 tribes, so 2/3 of the tribes are black. So isn't it interesting? I asked them, how is it that if 2/3 of all of the 12 tribes of Israel are black, when I ask you about any of the people, you say they're white? Aha. Going back to, now walk with me, the third curse again.
Have a huge community in Africa that they know in tradition that they are Hebrews, that they're from child of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. They know it for sure. You have communities that are running services and prayers by the halakha, keeping Shabbat and eating kosher. They know their roots. Like, you can't argue with them. They're stronger than you. They will tell you who they are. They don't ask you even. And they have the Bible and it's all written over there, and they don't have no problems in life. Except of that we're not able to accept them, to recognize the godliness of the holy tribes that is treasured inside their souls. And you have the problem not recognizing your own
Africa, specifically for Ethiopia. It's come from the word Kushi in Hebrew, black, the land of the blacks. But here it says past, not in Kush, beyond Kush. This word beyond in Hebrew, me'ever. What do you hear here? Ever, ever, ever is the word Hebrew. Ivri. There is a linguistic clue here. Me'ever. You will bring the Hebrews. Me'ever lekush. Why? Because they're scattered. They're all over. They're going to come from all over. What is south of Ethiopia? Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Mozambique. We can expect it. We can expect it. And here it says, Atari bat putsi. And that is important. This is an ambiguous word in the Hebrew.
Another interesting place that you're finding descendants of the Israelites, but shouldn't be overlooked. It's a very serious scenario. Is in Africa. Africa has perhaps hundreds of millions of people with this identity right now of being from the people of Israel. That when the Romans conquered Judea, a few hundred years after that the tribes of Israel went into exile, perhaps millions of Judeans were sold into slavery. Into Africa, into Rome, deep into Africa. If you look now, you're seeing people who are most likely the descendants of those slaves who kept true. I like to bring up a few specific examples because they're going to be game changers. And a professor from Duke University went out there and did DNA testing on them. And he showed not only do they share Semitic genes from people who were in Yemen, back to the Middle East, these gentlemen, a large percent of them, have the Y chromosome to be Kohanim, to be priests. For anyone who doesn't know, a priest is a specific family clan of the nation of Israel who come from Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was the first priest. And anyone descended from Aaron has the status title priest. And we found that these men in this village in South Africa called Lemba, L-E-M-B-A, carry this genetic marker. Another area in Africa, you have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them. Where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. So what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is most likely there is something there. And
to make sure and reiterate this, that I'm not a racist person. nor am I a person that hates certain individuals. I love all of humanity. I want to see all of humanity making a new kingdom. But nevertheless, there is true Hebrews. There's a true people of the Most High that is scattered throughout the nations of the earth this day. It is not whom that many people believe they are, such as the so-called Jews in the nation-state of Israel that we so see before us right now. I would interject that the true biblical Hebrews are the so-called African-American people that are scattered abroad throughout the world. Now, I will show you through a mass amount of evidence that I'll put up on the screen right here, verses below, and you can do your due diligence and research these things out to see if they be so. It is very important that you understand who the true Hebrews are, because that end-time prophecy, lots of it, surround these individuals. I am a Gentile.